Hello, Lynn Watts here with Wyatt the Wonder Dog Books. And today in this video, I want to talk about how you can build a lesson on listening and respect. I think we frequently, especially at the beginning of the school year or perhaps midway through the year when you feel like things are maybe needing a little reminder, type of a lesson, we frequently have a lesson on listening, especially for younger kids. And I think we emphasize, of course, all the benefits of listening, whether that is, helping us learn better, helping us be safe because we're listening to important instructions, all of those sort of things. But one of the things that perhaps we don't mention very often is that listening is also a way of being respectful. So this is something that I address in two different books. The first one that I think is very useful, which you might already be familiar with, is Wyatt the Wonder Dog Learns About Listening. And this, of course, is a story about Wyatt and all the problems he has because of not listening, the consequences of that, and then how he learns to be a good listener. So it's an excellent way to introduce the idea of listening, especially to younger kids, because it is a picture book. And then, just like in all of the books, there are discussion questions in the back that you can then talk with children about, and there's an activity. Um, Very easy, grab and go listen lesson. Let's say you want to go a little beyond that, though. And I would recommend my brand new Wyatt's Ready to Learn coloring book. And so in this book, I've got several different sections, but one of them is on listening and respect. And so in that section, you're going to find some coloring sheets, all of which have something to think about, which of course you could discuss before you, give out the coloring sheet. Um, Something to think about for while you're coloring. For instance, this one says, as you color the picture of Wyatt and friends, think about why it is important to be a good listener when you are playing a game. Or this page says, as you color the picture of the costume party, think about why it is important to be a good listener to be a good friend. All right. So different scenarios where being a good listener is important. And then many of the sections in here have a poster that you could copy and have children color. This one's poster says, I treat myself and others with love and respect. So I think maybe it'll show up a bit there on the screen. So that's the section on listening and respect. There's also a mandala that you could have students color if you want something kind of a soothing, calming sort of activity. So depending on the kind of situation. If you want more, you could then use the Stories to Learn by book, which looks something like this. And this one has a whole section. There's actually a section on each one of the books in the Stories to Learn by book. And so there are, again, some coloring sheets, but there are also games, activities. They're all divided up according to different grade levels. So you have things you could do with every grade. And there's also poster mandalas in here as well, some worksheets, really pretty much anything that you can think about. And all of the there's a lesson for each one of the Wyatt books. And all of the lessons, of course, are aligned with ASCA standards. If you want more, if you want lesson on listening, but something you can use in the entire year, I'd recommend my School Counselor Book of Lesson Plans, Volume 2, which has a calendar in it. It has a lesson on listening, and it also has lessons for the entire year. So every month there are a couple of lessons that you could do on all the major things that you're probably going to talk about: friendship, being prepared, kindness, so forth, all in this one book. Now, if you're thinking, wow, I need the whole series, then what I would recommend is that you go to my website, which I will link below, and you look at the Social Emotional Learning Kit, which includes all 9 of the Wyatt books. It includes the lesson plan book, It includes the Stories to Learn by book, and it includes the small group guide. So you have pretty much every scenario that you would um, need some sort of lesson or activity for the entire year. You would be really sad. So that would be all 9 books. Um, it also includes a Wyatt puppet. There's a lot of little add-ons that are part of that, but you would get really 3 major books on lesson plans and all 9 of the Wyatt books, which you could space out all year. 9 books, you could do one each month. So those are some really easy, quick ideas for creating a lesson on listening, which I think is something that we probably teach every year because it's one of the major kind of skills that we want kids to learn in school. So I hope you find that helpful. I'll put links in the show notes to all of those different materials. And as always, I want to thank you for all of the wonderful things that you do to enrich the lives of our children. And thanks for listening.